Scientists provide proofs that there are extraterrestrials. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Scientists have tested two alien bodies and shown before the Mexican Congress by a self-proclaimed ufologist and have confirmed that they are not fake. Reports in the Mirror in the UK are that last week the country's lawmakers heard testimony suggesting the possibility that aliens might exist. Now they have shown two bodies some 2 feet high and have been x-rayed by doctors. Jamie Marston, who last week presented them to Parliament in large wooden coffins, claimed that the bodies were found in Peru and they are not human beings and are not part of our terrestrial evolution. Doctors at a lab in Mexico City carried out the X-ray and the CT scan of the bodies and said that they showed the bodies had not been assembled or manipulated. Footage of the teams carrying out the tests shows one of the bodies bearing an elongated head, a small upturned nose, and two slanted eyes. While there is a resemblance to fictional depictions of aliens, scientists have yet to suggest that they are from another planet. One hypothesis put forward by academics and archaeologists is that the remains are mummified human beings, which I can tell you makes absolutely no sense as what I'm looking at is not humans at all. The scientists said that the genetic makeup of the bodies were 30% different from that of human beings and that they were not part of our terrestrial evolution. Now here's a description of what they show a picture of. They had just 3 fingers on their hands and 3 toes on their feet. They have strong but light bones, no teeth, and what the experts suspected was stereoscopic vision like that of a bird. They had a retractable neck and a wide head, and they were reportedly discovered with eggs containing embryos inside of them, according to reports from El País. Humans do not carry eggs like that of a fowl. The eggs that a woman carry is totally different. Plus them have 3 fingers, 3 toes, and the eyes not like humans. The eyes are big and slanted. Now for all the church people I know we alone God make. We don't know that. God makes several different species of people. The Bible tell you of a few. They had thrones, they had cherubims, they have angels, seraphim, dominions, and several more including Satan. And the United States government, Russia, and several more nations have some of these same entities, but they refuse to tell the public. But one day it will be in the open. What in the dark must come to light. Pressure mounted for Prime Minister Andrew Holness to act to remove Marisa Dalrymple Filbert as Speaker of the House of Representatives in light of the Director of Corruption. Prosecution's ruling that she be charged for breaches of the Integrity Commissions Act. Ms. Dalrymple Filbert is to be charged in relation to her statutory declarations, which was filed over a period of 2015 to 2021. Founding Director of National Integrity Action, Professor Trevor Monroe, said that Mr. Holness should ask Ms. Dalrymple to step aside if he is serious about building public trust. Members of Parliament were expected to declare assets, and she failed to declare where the funds came from for a vehicle costing over $6 million. So the Director of Public Prosecution ruled she be prosecuted. But the JLP still had her as the Speaker of the House, and the PNP said no way and walked out. Last evening, she finally resigned as Speaker of the House. But there are some speculation about an incident that took place yesterday as well. Some serious development took place as Ryan Evans, the Director of Corruption Prevention, he was attacked and shot in a car park at the agency in New Kingston when he arrived for work about 11 o'clock, and his attackers made off with a briefcase that had been in his possession. The preliminary information gathered by detectives so far suggested that Mr. Evans was the victim of armed robberies. How convenient. The senior policeman added that there is no information provided to the police to suggest that Mr. Evans was the victim of a targeted attack, but he urged anyone with information on the shooting or who may believe that they have another reason for the robbery to contact the police high command or the nearest police station. The 73-year-old woman who is accused of killing her 74-year-old husband over a well in Cabbage Valley District on September 2nd was offered bail when she appeared in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court yesterday. Enid Townsend was offered bail in the sum of $600,000 when she appeared before presiding Judge Dion Lawrence Pivot at the Parish Court in Santa Cruz. Lawrence Pivot ordered that the accused, upon taking up the bail, must be immediately transferred and admitted into a medical facility for psychiatric evaluation at a cost to her family, and that she must remain there unless ordered by the court. Police said her confession reportedly reveals that the incident arose from a dispute stemming from her late husband, Arthur Townsend, leaving her name from his last will and testament. The disagreement escalated, resulting in her husband allegedly slapping her, according to the police. She then retaliated by using a hammer to hit the husband several times, killing him. A 37-year-old man was charged after he reportedly shot his neighbor in the abdomen during a dispute in his community of Racecourse Trelawney on September 16. Charged with wounding with intent and possession of a prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition is Ori Armstrong, otherwise called No Doubt. Reports from the Falmouth police are that about 11 a.m., Armstrong and his neighbor were arguing when he went to his house, returned with a gun. He then fired several gunshots at the neighbor, injuring him in his abdomen. The neighbor managed to escape and was assisted by residents to hospital, where he was treated and released. A report was then made to the police and Armstrong turned himself in later that day. He was charged on Wednesday, September 20. Correctional Officer Everall Ferguson, who is facing a manslaughter charge for the fatal shooting of an inmate at the Kingston Public Hospital in December last year, was offered bail when he appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Wednesday. He was offered bail in the sum of $600,000 with reporting conditions, and he is to return to court on December 1st. Allegations are that the officer who was guarding Winston Richards, an inmate at KPH, shot and killed him on December 24th of 2022. And it's alleged that the inmate attacked another correctional officer and was shot. Ferguson reported intervened but was attacked by the inmate, according to reports. He claimed he acted in self-defense, but it was brought to the attention of the court that the incident had been captured on CCTV camera, which did not show Ferguson under attack when he discharged his weapon. The St. Andrew South police are searching for a man who allegedly killed one of his sisters while wounding another following a heated dispute over food items. According to police report, an argument developed among the three siblings at a house on Denver Crescent in Marvely at about 7 p.m. on Wednesday. The dispute reportedly became physical, resulting in the brother stabbing both sisters multiple times. Both women were taken to hospital, where one succumbed to her injuries while the other was treated and released. The victim has been identified as Kenisha Royal of New Barnett Avenue, Marvely, Kingston 20. The brother, whose identity has not yet been released, is now on the run. Onto sports in schoolboy soccer. We only had 3 games yesterday. In the Manning Cup, we had one. Last year's beaten finalist and Zone D leader, St. Andrew Technical, hammered Toronto High 9-0 in their Manning Cup game. The Bumper Hall School was led by a 3-timer from Leon Brown, who struck in the opening minute, the 4th minute, and the 72nd minute. And in the DaCosta Cup section, there were 2 games. Leaders Happy Grove High blanked Titchfield High 7-0 in their Zone N DaCosta Cup game. They were led by a hat-trick from Chevron Miller, who scored in the 6th minute, the 20th minute, and the 31st minute. And in Zone K in the other game, we had Yellas clipping Paul Bogle 1-0. There will be 15 games today, and the match of interest is Mannings versus Grange Hill. Mannings with 1-0 and 1 draw, and an old rival with 1 win and 2 losses will see them in a very competitive matchup. A more fierce matchup will also be taking place today with Rossies and Frome. Both have not lost any game this year, and Rossies will want to change that. But don't forget that the best Manning Cup and the DaCosta Cup reports take place on this radio station. If you ever miss the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. That's going to be news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. Have a wonderful weekend. I gone.